Welcome to my channel. If you want to know about crime in Jacksonville, Florida, you've reached the right channel. I'm going to tell you 5 things about what you need to know about crime in Jacksonville, Florida. So stay tuned to my channel and stick around to the end so you can hear my number 1 reason about the crime here in Jacksonville, Florida. First off, my name is Artie Cox. I've been in Jacksonville about 20 years. So I know about the ups and downs here in Jacksonville related to crime. I started out living on the west side when I first moved here about 2 years, and I moved over to the south side of Jacksonville off Emerson Street. I worked on the south side off St. John's Bluff, went to church on the east side of Jacksonville near downtown. Currently live on the north side near the airport, what they call Ocean Way. In my various jobs, I used to clean offices and whatnot. And so I would work all around different sides of town, delivered pizzas. And as a real estate agent now, I know different areas. I work the south side, I work St. Johns County, I work the north side, I work with investors, I do land deals. So I kind of have a really good idea of what's going on here. So my number 5 thing, to deal with the crime here in Jacksonville is what I would say is that it's relevant with anywhere. I think the key thing when you come to Jacksonville, you just got to know. I kind of avoid gas stations late at night. It's nothing unusual. People do that everywhere, but certain parts of town, I just don't go to gas stations. If it's not well lit, I won't go to that gas station. And I really try to focus on the bigger gas stations here in Jacksonville. That might be Gate, the Wawas, the gas stations. There's plenty of lighting, plenty of people going in and out of the gas stations. I know there's been some carjackings. There's been some different things, crimes. And I think a lot of times it's at the gas stations where people, it's just in areas of town that's kind of sketchy a little bit. And it's late at night, it's dark, there's not a lot of people going in and out, or it may be a known drug area or something like that. So I think my number 5 thing is really just stay away from those gas stations late at night, convenience stores, things of this nature. And that can be in any side of town, So specifically, you just want to just be aware of that with the gas stations. Just recently, there was a young man who got shot. He didn't die or anything, but he got shot. He was at a gas station, and it was on a pretty nice side of town over there off River, near River City, near the airport. And we were surprised because it's not far from where I live. We're not really surprised, but crime happens everywhere. So, he was just putting air in his tires, and some random guys came up to him, put a flashlight in his face, and then he bucked. He went against him and pushed him away, and next thing you know, they shot him in the chest. I mean, he survived, but it just goes to show you that can happen anywhere. So really pay attention to the gas stations here in the Jacksonville area, most definitely. Okay, the number 4 thing that I would say is, when it comes to crime here in Jacksonville, just know that it's a lot of randomness. And what I mean by that is when you're going out at night, say maybe downtown area or, in certain parts of town, like San Marco, Riverside, the more urban areas in Jacksonville. I think with anything, you want to go in a group. You want to just be paying attention to your surroundings. When you're parking, you want to, what I try to do is just move with a sense of urgency and kind of, moving around, paying attention to what's around you, not taking anything for granted. So that would be my number 4 reason is just when you're going downtown and in urban areas, more city-like areas, and we all know what that looks like, just especially at night, just pay real close attention to that. And I think you won't have any problems, travel in groups, and if you're by yourself, just move quick, just know where you're going. And so this is nothing unusual. And I think you'll definitely be okay. So that's just something to know in the Jacksonville area. Okay, number 3, what I would say is with the crime here in Jacksonville, what I notice is I think a lot of it, I believe a lot of it is gang related, or drug related, gang related or drug related, or people just having beefs with maybe a neighborhood or a community. And I think for the most part, if you're a law-abiding citizen, you're working, you're minding your business, you really will not have any problems. And like I said, the crime is in all sides of towns, and so it's just you'll see that, you'll hear about it. Maybe it be certain rappers or whatever, or somebody's doing a video and on a certain part of town or something like that. So you'll see some of that. I think just a lot of that takes place. That people get shot, killed or whatever. And so I think a lot of it is just they know who it was, and a retaliation or something like that. But I've never experienced anything, seen anything like that. You just hear about it. You see it on the news a little bit, but I think it's something that you definitely don't need to worry about, and especially if you're not involved in that activity. So we just hope for the best for folks that can recover and things like that. But in Jacksonville, you will see some of that, in the news and whatever, and hear about that. And then so number two thing really to know about crime is, what I would say is that when I was living on the South Side, when I bought a home, the neighborhood, it was, medium income. It was my neighborhood. It didn't have an HOA, meaning no homeowners association. So you could park your boat. You could, people kind of did what they wanted to with their houses. If you had a boat or whatever, your business truck, So my neighborhood, what I noticed was people were selling drugs in my neighborhood and community. There was renters in that neighborhood when I first moved over there. So it was really like, a working class neighborhood, a kind of older neighborhood, but a lot of people were renting there. So you got a lot of different folks coming in and out. So I think what's key is when you look at neighborhoods, look at the rental rates. Like how many people are renters, how many people are owners. And I think that's really key, especially in Jacksonville, because if it's a medium to lower income area, typically, and there's a lot of turnover and you don't really know your neighbors, is a more propensity for crime, I believe. That's my opinion. And so in that neighborhood that I was living in, I never had any problems, but I just knew that, you would see sometimes kids walking in the middle of the street, 2 or 3 years old. There was a shootout here and there. Somebody had got murdered around the corner. That was after I left, so it was just one of those things where it was kind of seemed like random. But that's what took place. So really look at the neighborhoods where you're living. This was on the South Side, so the South Side is a pretty area that, is desirable, close to the beach. But it was a section of that town, which was close to downtown and everything. And so that's what I really noticed about it. So that would be my number two, is just when you move here, or if you're renting, just make sure that if it's lower income or medium income, just know that more than likely you're going to have more crimes in that area, and that can be any side of town. So just keep that in mind. When you're moving to Jacksonville, the rents are still very relatively cheap. Here, I mean, $900 to $1,100. Some places you can get it for $850. In the area that I was living in back then, probably the rents were going, probably about $850. That was in the early 2000s. My home cost back then was like $50,000. So it was an area, like I said, nice neighbors, people had been there for a while, but it was just a lot of rental activity. Now you go to that neighborhood, they've done, did a lot of renovations with homes, remodels, and selling properties, much higher now. So my last thing, what I would say with crime here in Jacksonville that you need to know is that the police department is on it, JSO. I have family member that work with them. Strong police department here, strong police presence. What I can say about the government and the city here in Jacksonville with crime, yes, there is crime in Jacksonville, We, with the pandemic and everything, we've had our highest murder total in a while, but the police are on it. They do pay attention to what's going on. The chief of the police, the mayor, and of course, you know how the governor is pretty tough on crime. So I will give them that. And so you just know that people are watching, people are paying attention to that. Even in the neighborhood that I live in now, with all these doorbell, cameras, and people got cameras all over their house. I mean, literally, I've been in that neighborhood 15, 16 years. I go door knocking. They're like, who's this guy? So I need to get out and know my neighbors better. But what I'm saying is, in a lot of these neighborhoods in Jacksonville, uh, they have Facebook groups. They have people that watch out for each other. It's very neighborly. So you just need to know that about the crime in Jacksonville, that you have a strong police presence. You have police that are concerned, and then you have the neighbors that do look out for each other. And so that is definitely something that you need to know about crime in Jacksonville, and that it's a strong sense of community. And even though you have a few bad apples, you have that in any city, but it's just something that you just need to know and to pay attention to. And so with Jacksonville being a large metropolitan area, over 1 million people here, probably about 1.2 in surrounding areas, you have the St. Johns County Police, you have the Clay County Police, and of course the Duval County Police. So you have a lot of police departments working together in unison. They do a good job of working towards, corralling some of the drugs off the street. But I think the biggest thing, and this is what I will kind of talk about a little bit, and I thank you for staying. Hit that subscribe button. If you want to know more about Jacksonville, living in Jacksonville, subscribe, give me a call, shoot me a text, shoot me an email. And I appreciate you for staying this long. So look, let me tell you something about Jacksonville here. It's a growing city. People are aware of what's going on. And I think when crimes are committed, a lot of times you still have that kind of no snitching type rule, where people see stuff or they know stuff that's going on, and, for fear or just don't want to be labeled a snitch or something like that, they will not say anything. So I think that is probably the biggest thing that's causing the crime rate to continue to kind of be an issue in Jacksonville. And I think the more that people realize that, if you see something that's not right, that you ought to speak about it. But if you're out there doing bad things and you're not doing the right thing, and then you get caught and you tell on someone, then you're really like a snitch. That's what I would say. But law-abiding citizens, people doing the right things or whatever, I think it's easy for us to just walk by and not say anything, or something like that, to not get involved. And I think that is something that we all should look at as human beings. I know for me as one, so I think that's the issue in the Jacksonville area, not trying to choose sides with it or anything like that. But, I just think that you just need to pay attention to that. But all in all, Jacksonville is I would say, a relatively safe city. It's just like any other city, any other metro urban areas, southern areas, you're going to have different issues. I've seen crimes committed on all sides. And when I say seen, heard about it, with the crime statistics and stuff. So just wanted to thank you for your time, for hanging in there. Again, I'll be shooting more videos on the city of Jacksonville. And thank you for your time. Everyone have a great day. Again, shoot me a text, give me a call, or shoot me an email to know more about living in Jacksonville, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Have a blessed day.